this always helps me, doing things like this always helps me to ensure that I volunteer and that I give back, not just money, but on a practical basis, making sure that with organizations, not-for-profit organizations, that I participate, not just with money, but with my time. So I will definitely use this experience to ensure that I do that, at least on an annual basis.
I've been amazed at how well United Way pairs businesses with organizations that look to serve the greater community. I think that it means that we need to put off ourselves and take up the burdens of others in whatever way that we can and help people pull themselves up, whatever that means for where we're at.
Well, of course, it's very important to be cognizant of those in need. For example, one of the activities that we had was to look to see how we can imagine what it takes to, fill out a battered domestic violence type of shelter. And it just adds more meaning to that, just understanding, what's really what they need, basic necessities and things of that nature. And it's just, it just allows one once again to be just cognizant, that you have all these different groups that are definitely needy. And we have to be able to help, once again add value. So.
Yes, about 22 and a half years ago, I had to go and live at the Haven. I was homeless. By that time, I was about 19. Found out I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 22, needed shelter. So at that time, I was working at the Beacon Drive-In, and someone, a fellow coworker, told me that there was a shelter in Spartanburg that could help me. During my shift, I called them, advised them of my situation, that I was homeless, didn't have anywhere to go, and my shift would end at 11 p.m. that night. Well, they made provisions for me to come in after my shift was completed, to stay there until I found out what my next point of life was going to be. The Haven provided shelter for single women with children. They also provided different living skills in regards to how to prepare a meal, how to plan, how to budget, and how to prepare for the next stage of life after you leave the Haven. They also provided me with support when I moved out the Haven, like with my apartment, if I needed any type of rental assistance, utility. They even provided me with groceries for my pantry that was filled up for 6 months, toiletries, and just made sure I had daycare services for my daughters. I received my apartment, I want to say probably about a week before I gave birth to her. And the Haven helped me to furnish my apartment, helped me to be situated. I didn't have a home phone at that time. So they told me, no, you're not gonna stay in that apartment by yourself and have her. So they said, no, come back to the Haven. So I went back to the Haven. The next morning, I woke up, told the housing manager, I'm a jokester, I like to have fun. So I said, I think this baby is coming. And they're like, stop playing. I said, I think this baby is coming. And I pushed, and down my short leg, here she comes. Another resident of the Haven actually ran in the room, had just jumped out the shower with a house coat on and called her. And, I was just like, oh my Lord, what has just happened? And when we got to the hospital, it's like, what you gonna name her? What you gonna name her? What you gonna name her? And with the assistance of another housing manager, she said, let's call her Haven. And that's where we came up with the name Kimberly Haven. The way it impacts me now, because I came from a very privileged family, so it gave me a culture shock that homeless does not have a face. You could be sitting next to someone that's homeless. So if you allow your testimony or what you've been through to impact someone else, to let them know that because I made it, you can make it too. And if you pay it forward, you never ever know who that can help. That can help the person that's sitting next to you. That can also help someone in your family. That can help someone in your friends, or that can also help someone in your community. Your next door neighbor can be homeless.
17 years ago, I was living in Greenville, and I had just had my second child, and I was homeless. And they had just started a program called Home for New Beginnings. I wasn't aware that United Way sponsored it, but they did, and I was the actual first person to live there. It was a home for women with small children and women who were expecting. So I was the pilot person there. When we moved in, my 2 babies and I, we had the entire run of the house, but the United Way representatives came in and they made sure that I had everything that I needed. They helped me with different programs with different churches, education, parenting skills. And when I wanted to look for a job, they helped me, they guided me in that aspect. Last year, the 2 years that I was here before, I wasn't able to donate because I was going through some health issues. And last year, when they brought up the campaign, I was determined that I wanted to be a giver, and that's why I first told my story. I wasn't trying to get acclimates for it. I just wanted people to know how important it was to give. As I shared with you before, I don't know who is out there that may need the services, but if someone sees this and see I am a success story, I mean, I have everything that I want, but I'm a success because I'm no longer homeless. But when I needed them, they were there. So my position is to be able to express that to other people so that they know there's someone out there that can help you. But also for those of us who are blessed and able to give, do your part and give, because people look at charities as it's a scam, but I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, the United Way is not a scam. I'm a living testimony. It's my life story, and I'm happy to share it with anyone and everyone, because there were times when I didn't feel like I was a success, especially as a parent. Being homeless, that's what you look at. And these representatives came in and they really encouraged me and helped to build my self-esteem to where even taking the parenting classes, I saw some things that I was doing wrong, but it helped me to become a better parent. And I say that because that helped me in life to become a better employee, because those values were instilled and those teachings were instilled in me, that everything that I do, I want to do my best at, whether it's parenting, whether it's working, whatever I put myself into, I want to be the best. And as I shared with you, seriously, the parenting skills and the classes that they allowed me to take, that helped me to become the young lady that I am today.